Can I see?
Danny.
Stop being so nosy.
It's okay.
Okay, so the last time I watched a horror anthology was when VHS 1 and 2 were out, and then sadly VHS 3 came out, so let's forget about that one. But now we have a horror anthology directed by 4 different ladies, whose name I already forgot, so I'll make sure to put the name somewhere over here. But I've noticed that critics are loving it, and then we have audiences that are hating it. Rotten Tomatoes is like giving it like a 73%, and then like the audience is like hating it. And I've seen a lot of the reviews, and it's like a bunch of negative stuff about it, and then the critics are saying positive things about it. So like, you know, what is it like? Now I can't talk about this movie without going into spoilers, but here's my non-spoiler like view on it, so don't worry, no spoilers right now. Now I see a lot of the comments that are saying like, oh, this is very empowering for women, since this is the first time they get to direct an entire horror movie like with 4 different stories, and they're saying it's great and all that stuff. And as far as like a production value goes and the way that it was directed, yes, all the 4 stories were very good looking. As far as like the quality of the sound and like the video, and even the casting for each story was really good. I really enjoyed that. Now, one thing that I do notice is from the audition's perspective is the story. The stories do falter a lot. There's a lot of plot holes, and I know it's a short story. Obviously, we're going to be missing a lot of details, but there are just way too many details to take account in. All the ending to these stories kind of left me hanging. So with that, let me go into the spoiler version of this. So first starting off with the box, I'm not going to go through the whole plot again, but basically, you know, you have this box, mystery box or whatever, and the kid wants to know what's in the box. The guy tells him it's a surprise, and then he looks in the box, and for some reason, whatever he saw in the box makes him lose his appetite, and then he's not eating. And by the way that this scene looks in the dinner table looks freaking amazing, because every time they were dining and the camera will like focus on the food, it would make me hungry. I literally stopped the video to go get a snack. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, the story was pretty cool. I actually liked the beginning of it because it gives us like that mysterious like feel and vibe to it. The kid then tells his sister, which makes her lose her appetite. Then later on, he tells his dad the same thing, and he also loses his appetite. Now, nobody's eating except the mom, which, by the way, the mom's like the worst mom on the planet. She just doesn't really seem to care if they eat or not, as long as she eats. After the dad finds out, we go to the next scene, which is like a overhead shot of her, which looks like she was like waking up from bed, but no, she's actually at the dinner table. And when it pans down, it looks like she got like eaten off. Like her whole arm looks like it's been off, and then her leg is like being like cut off, and then they're like passing around like a piece of her leg, and they're eating it, and they're like all happy. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that moment was like, oh, you know, I thought it was pretty cool. And also, it becomes very inconsistent, because in the beginning it's telling us like, oh, it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, and then they kind of forgot about that. I guess they thought that we figured it's been a long time since, you know, those days, because I don't know where now it's Christmas, and now they're all sitting around opening presents, but the mom is there. Isn't she supposed to be dead? That's what threw me off, and that's where like this story just went downhill for me. Other than that, everything was like pretty good. But when it got to this point, I was like, okay, what the hell happened? Like, she shouldn't be alive right now. Like, literally her half of her arm was like bitten off and her leg chewed off. Like, it didn't make sense to me. And then of course the ending left us with the biggest question of them all.
What's in the fucking box?
Now, moving on to the birthday party, which actually I don't think this one had a lot of flaws. The only weird thing about it was that it's this little girl's party, right? The mom goes to the husband's office or whatever to get him, but she finds out that he's dead. Now, the biggest question for me was like, how the hell did she know she was dead? Like, he just looked like he was like slumped over on his chair, but she never like bothered to check if he was breathing or he like passed out from being too drunk, because there was like a lot of evidence that there was alcohol around him. So I was just like, okay, like, are you not gonna call the cops, or like, what's up? The whole time she's trying to hide his body, which was actually funny. Like, and I got the point of the story, which was like, you know, a dark comedy. Like, it did that pretty good. It goes way too far when she was trying to hide him like in this panda suit, and obviously they find out at the end. So it's kind of funny because you can see it in her face. She's like, shit, I'm sorry for ruining the rest of your kids' memories. And also the maid, or the lady with the really dark hair, they made her seem super mysterious in the beginning, like she was like hiding something or she was up to something, but in the end we never find out what the hell happened to her. But overall, the story actually was good. Like, it worked for me. Like, the directing again was really good. You can tell the director had a keen eye for like color, because a lot of the colors in this story was popping. Okay, so now the next story is called Don't Fall. Honestly, it started off pretty good, but again, a lot of inconsistencies with the story and a lot of things that just didn't make sense to me. But this one had a really cool shot with like the wide shot of the cliffs and them like standing on the cliff, and also when they were talking outside of their van. So I can see where critics love this kind of directing, which I thought was freaking fantastic. Now, this story doesn't falter in the ending like the rest, but it actually actually falters for me like somewhere in the middle or in the beginning, because they set up like this drawings that they found on rocks. They really don't find out what it is, or they don't explain what it is. They kind of make assumptions, and then this one of the girls gets bit by something. I think it was like a scorpion or some shit. But then later on, obviously something happens to her. She starts freaking out. She becomes this demon, and she sees in her vision, or whatever it was, like a dream, something comes at her, but we really don't know what it is, and that never gets explained either. And then when she turns to this crazy monster, she goes out for blood. Now actually the scenes where she was like murdering these people, it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fun to watch. But you know, overall this story was good. I liked it. I actually thought this was one of the most entertaining ones, and again, the directing and the sound quality of this story was really good. Now her only living son is kind of like a ripoff of Rosemary's Baby or The Omen, and it's basically that. Like you have like this mom who has her kid who's turning 18, and she's trying to make him like a birthday cake and all that stuff, and he did some shit at school that was kind of creepy, like taking off this girl's nails, but he doesn't get in trouble at all because apparently everybody in town knows who the father of this son is, that being like the devil, I guess. So basically the story comes down to this, like he's going through some crazy changes, like, you know, his toenails and his fingernails are growing like crazy, so he needs to go get like a mani and pedi eventually. But the weird thing is that everybody in town knows, but the mom seems not to remember, you know, who the kid belongs to. We later find out that the father traded her for fame or something like that. Now he's remarried or some crap. But in the ending, they both die in the weirdest way. Like they're like hugging it out or something, and like the house is shaking, and then I don't know where, like they just drop to the floor and there's like blood everywhere. So I wasn't sure how they died. There was like a moment where like some wings flapped through the screen, and it reminded me of like the gargoyles. Besides the ending, again, I thought the story was pretty cool. Like the whole eeriness of this story was there. Like the sound effect made it really good, and it was probably the creepiest one out of the four. The mom actually was pretty good in the story. I actually liked her a lot. Now what revolves around this whole movie is the stop motion. I thought that was pretty cool because you have like this walking doll or whatever. She's like putting dead birds inside like dolls to see if they wake up or become alive, and then in the end you like see them put a bird inside of this girl's chest or something, and I thought that was pretty cool because then she wakes up and it's like, oh, it's pretty cool and creepy. But I really like the stop motion. So if I was going to give this a fair rating, or I guess my personal rating, which really doesn't matter to you guys because this is what I think the production value was there. The cast for every single story was actually pretty good. The sound quality and sound effects of everything was actually really good. But then again, what's the point of making something look super cool and nice if the story really isn't there? Now, given the fact that most of the stories don't end in the best way and they leave a lot of plot holes, I thought it was pretty well directed by every single one of the ladies. I thought it was cool. But honestly, I did like it. Overall, I thought it was very well directed, and I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. I felt like these stories were more of an intro to like an even bigger story. So guys, what do you guys think of each of the 4 stories? Which one did you like the most? Which one did you dislike? If you hated the whole thing, let me know down below. Also, if you liked the whole thing, also let me know. So guys, that's my thoughts on this movie. If you guys like this video, make sure to share and give it a thumbs up. If you guys like my content, then also make sure to subscribe. But as always guys, stay tuned.
What's in the fucking box?